Now, regional integration has been a big part of the Kenyan government's argument for building both a standard gauge railway line and a new port in Lamu. Aside from opening up the long-neglected northern and eastern frontiers of Kenya, the railway line from Mombasa will also link Ethiopia to global markets. But with that country building its own $4 billion track to the port in Djibouti, some economists aren't convinced there's a case for another line.
Building a line through to Ethiopia would be useful, though I am not completely convinced that given the cost per kilometer that we've spent on standard gauge railway line, it would not have been, because evacuation can still take place by roads. Cargo moves by roads in big economies such as Poland. The 19th largest economy in the world, most of the cargo between Germany and Poland is moved by road. There's a railway line, yes, but actually by road. So if you have efficient road systems, you have logistical systems for all that, then it can still happen. So there's no there's no immutable law of economics that you must always move cargo by railway line. There isn't. If you have very big, bulky, low quality stuff that you need to, yes, railway lines tend to have that advantage, but over time, it depends on where you're starting from. So obviously we've built a road line, we've built an expensive railway line. So yes, I think comparing the railway line to the north against what the road would provide would also be useful.
But in that context then, does the Lamu port make sense? Because yes, traffic to Mombasa has been going up, yes, in double digits in some cases over the last couple of years. But in the larger scheme of things, does it make sense for us to spend more money building another port in an environmentally fragile location, just in the expectation that, we might actually have a lot more cargo to move around?
No, I actually think that the Lamu port, the case for the economic case for Lamu port is actually overstated. If you leave the environmental, the ecological consequences aside, which would be real, I think building, it has advantages in terms of the depth. In terms of it's a deep natural harbor, but it's very, very expensive to build 32 berths. I don't think we have the demand for 32 berths, in as much as, of course, we'd like to have a cargo center within in that part of the country. It is everything that could be done in Lamu port could still be done within Mombasa, which now has to have every single thing that you could make it deeper, definitely by dredging, which has happened quite a bit, so you're able to take in bigger cargo. But I think the idea that we must just build 32 berths on Lamu is, in my view, I think the triumph of hope over reality.
On balance,
yes,
we've spent the notional figure we like banding around with this SGR thing is, of course, that $3 billion debt that we've taken for the first phase. If we had spent that money on roads instead,
yes,
where would we be now?
Well, yes, we could have spent some of that money to actually refurbish the existing railway line, and then use some of that money to actually, if you look at the distribution of population in Kenya, it's very sparsely populated in some areas. Nevertheless, we still need roads. And roads, your average Kenyan travels more roads than on railway line, whether transporting goods in small quantities, or whether transporting, or just basically transporting passengers. So based on the per kilometer quantification we need, Kenya is still very, very high. We'd have been able to double the amount of roads that we have and still refurbish the old railway line. So yes, the standard gauge railway is a big bet by Kenya, that one single railway line is going to deliver much more than I suspect it will.